Hey everyone, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I am here with a little journal with me, autumn journal with me, and I've decided to do another page in the journal, and this one is going to be a double spread because I went to the Durham escape room and it was Lily of Lumley. Now there's a story behind this which I'll tell you when we get started, but this was a Christmas present from my youngest daughter. And obviously with the pandemic, the castle had to shut down and we weren't able to do it, and so it's been a while coming, but you know, things are starting to get back to a little semblance of normal, so we managed to book in anyway. It was very good. We didn't encounter anybody else, just the young girl who was running it, and it was all very, you know, it had all been sanitized and everything was really great. We had to wear our masks and that, but we still, you know, I felt safe, I felt happy to do it, because we'd already made our mind up if we didn't think that it was, you know, what's the word I'm looking at, if we didn't think that it was COVID kind of, you know, sorted, then we weren't going to go in. But I was really impressed with it. It was really good. So anyway, excuse me. Yeah, so we went and did the escape room, and I don't know if anybody's ever done an escape room, but basically what it is, you're put into a room and it's the door's locked and you've got to solve all the puzzles to get out, and you get an hour to do it. Sometimes you get an hour and a half, but this one was an hour, and oh, it was so much fun. So there was me, my husband, my two daughters and my daughter's boyfriend, and we had such fun. We just, you know, the puzzles were really great. And anyway, so I've got the actual leaflet that you get, and it tells you about it, and then I've printed out a few things. Now I'm not going to give anything away if anybody decides to do this, you know, but I've printed out like a little puzzle box thing, and these are some of the pictures. So this is the entrance you go into, and you go into this room and you get locked in there, and it was it's a lovely castle, Lumley Castle. This is the castle itself. It's gorgeous. I've been there a few times. They do medieval feasts, so I've been to a medieval feast, I've been to a wedding there, and now I've been to the lock room, and it was really good. And this is the ghost of Lily of Lumley. And this picture I found, this is a picture of the original castle, because the castle dates back from 1389, when the first Lord Lumley started to build the castle, and this was the original castle. And as you can see, it's changed quite a lot over its time, but yeah, basically it was built as a defensive castle, because we had a lot of problems, you know, in the past with border skirmishes and that. So anyway, I've decided to do it on this page because this really reminds me of, like, the castle has a lot of wall hangings and tapestries and these beautiful rich heavy fabrics, and this just reminds me of it, so I thought I'm going to use this page. So I've got a collection of things as well. I've got a piece of this. Now this is the vintage trim that I got, and I wanted to use it because it's kind of like, when I first saw it, it's almost like a medieval trim that you would see on a medieval lady's dress, and that's exactly what Lily would have been, a medieval lady. So I'm gonna I've got that, and then I've got a few different other bits and pieces that I might use. So let's get ourselves sorted. First of all, I want to put a pocket on here. Now I wanted to use the fabric. I was thinking I might put it that way, but then I found this lovely card, this paper here, and I just love it because it's kind of got like the gilded edging, and I thought I might just do like a torn like corner pocket. So let's get that, let's tear this, and the good thing is that I can use the little scraps of paper for something else. So I want that there, and then what I want to do is, if I put it that way, pop this fabric kind of running down the pocket, and maybe put something else here, because I kind of want to mirror the kind of medieval feel of the castle. Lily of Lumley, I'll tell you the story while I'm working. I might put a bit of music on. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but there was a musical, a nice musical puzzle for us to solve. But I won't tell you anything about it because obviously it's all, you know, you've got to go and experience it, and you've got to try and solve the puzzles for yourself. And I wouldn't want to give anything away. I kind of like that. That's kind of nice. That reminds me of Lily. That reminds me of the musical puzzle, and that reminds me of the castle. I kind of like that. I might do something else on there, but for now I'm going to just do this. So let's get this glued down. Yeah, so Lily of Lumley, who was she? It's a local legend, and Lumley Castle is not far from where I live. You can look it up online. I mean, it's no longer a residential castle in that the family of Lumley don't live there, but it's now a hotel and a venue for lots of you know, things like weddings and medieval banquets and big Christmas parties and that. And it is a beautiful, beautiful castle. And if you ever get the chance to go, I would suggest you do, because yeah, it's great, and it's so much fun to have the medieval feast. Is so much fun. They make it loads of fun. There's lots of entertainment in that, and you know, and it's quite funny. Learning how to eat the food without knives and forks, because you don't get to use cutlery, because they didn't have cutlery back then. Everybody ate with their hands, so that's what you've got to do. It's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It was years ago I went to the feast, but anyway, Ralph Lumley was the first Lord of Lumley. And that was back in when he started to build the castle in 1389. And it's rumoured that before he was married, he got married to a lady called Eleanor Neville. Now, the Neville family is a big noble family in the north. They own places like Alnwick Castle and I think Warkworth Castle, before it was given to the National Trust. A lot of castles. So it was two of the big families of the north got, you know, came together. But before he married Eleanor, it's said that he'd had, now some people say she was his first wife, but there's no record of the marriage. So it was thought that she wasn't his wife. She was what's called in England a common law wife. So they lived together as man and wife, but they weren't actually married. I'm going to use this tacky glue on the trim because I want to make sure it's well stuck on. It's quite heavy because it's got metallic thread, and I don't want it falling off. And it's a proper vintage trim. Anyway, so yeah, so some people say she was his mistress, some people say she was his common law wife. But so what happened is each castle has its own well, a water supply within the walls, so that if they ever come under siege, then they've got their own water supply. And Lumley's no different. It's actually got two wells. It's got one that is actually inside the castle itself, which is now covered up with a glass panel, and you can see down to the bottom. And then there's one in the courtyard, and that one's got a big grate over it. So what happened, Ralph went away on a hunting expedition. You know, they very often went off hunting, and he left Lily in charge of the castle. And the priory of Finkel, which isn't far from where I live actually, and we walk there very often, it's a ruin now, and again you can find that on online, Finkel Priory. But the monks weren't happy because Lily wouldn't embrace the religion. She wouldn't embrace Christianity. So they saw her as a problem, because they couldn't have a prominent lord of the area with a wife who wouldn't embrace Christianity, because that would, you know, it just wouldn't be good for them. They wanted to make sure that the church was in line with the local families. So oh, I forgot to put the paper underneath. I'll just quickly do that. So when he was away, the monks from Finkel Priory came to the castle, and it said that they took Lily to her room and asked her to convert to Christianity. And Lily was a stubborn woman apparently, and she decided that she would not convert. She would not become what they wanted her to be. She was happy with who she was and what she believed, so she refused. And it said that in some stories it said that they tortured her, in others it said that they just, you know, kept her in her bedroom and wouldn't leave her. Whichever stories are true, I don't know. But anyway, she ended up getting quite ill, and so it's said that the monks took her to the well in the courtyard. She ended up dying, and they threw her in the well. Now some say that she was dead before she went in the well, some say she wasn't dead when she went into the well. Either way, she was dead when she was in the well. And when Ralph came back, the monks told him that they'd been successful in converting her, and that she had actually been so converted that she decided to go to a nunnery and live the rest of her life in the service of Christianity, which was all well and good, but it was a lie. We all know it was a lie. I'm just thinking I might do like a belly band across with this. But Ralph accepted this. Now, there's a lot of rumours. Some say that he knew what was going to happen, and that's why he went away in the first place, because, you know, he was the lord of the manor, and she wasn't. First of all, she wasn't really married to him. She was a common law wife or a mistress, and secondly, you know, he wanted to make a power marriage, which would have given him a lot of fortune, and it would have given him a lot more land, because the Neville family are a very powerful northern family. So, you know, it's lost in the annals whether or not he was in on it, but he accepted it anyway, and he believed that, or he knew that she hadn't, or he believed that she'd run away. Either way, he never bothered looking for her, and poor Lily was lost in the well. And it said that after this, not long after this, that he married Lady Eleanor Neville. Now, that was a good marriage for him. It gave him good standing, and you know, like I said, he got more land and he got more wealth. And so you've got to make your own mind up whether or not he was in on it, or whether or not it was planned, whether or not her death was an accident, or whether or not they did it on purpose to get rid of her. But one thing is sure, that she never left the castle, and there's been many sightings. Now, this isn't just from the story that you get in the escape room. This is actually true. Lots of people have seen her, and they call her the Grey Lady, because when she appears, she looks like a grey mist, or like a grey outline of a lady. And they say that she still haunts the castle to this day, because obviously she was never given justice. And it's said as well, because she was never acknowledged, because there's no actual historical record of Lily, and people don't even know if Lily was her real name. It's just that that's what she was known as, Lily of Lumley. And they say that because she was never acknowledged, her spirit will haunt the castle until she's acknowledged in the castle as its once mistress. And so, you know, not knowing who she was, they can't put that right. So they say that she'll haunt the castle forever. Now the escape room is based upon this this legend, and it's so much fun. I mean, I knew the story before the escape room, but yeah, it was so much fun, and they've done it really well, and they've really brought the story to life. I like that. I'm using the books in the background. This paper, where did I put the rest of it? This is from a Gorgeous set. It's a 6x6 set. I'll show you the pack that I've got it from. It's called, I don't know if it's Ladybird, but anyway, it's this set, and I wanted to use this because one of the things in there's lots of bookcases with like old books and things on them, so I'm trying to use things that remind me of the place. This reminds me of one of the rooms, because one of the rooms has got like vines and things hanging down, and this is a dimensional paper, and it's kind of like, it just reminds me of that room. So I'm trying to make the page to remind me of the whole thing. Now again, one of the puzzles was music, and I found this piece of paper, and I thought, I wonder if I fold it and make it into a folded tag. I think that's what I'll do. So we'll move this over, and then I'll have a nice tag. And what I'm going to do on this page is I'm going to write the story, or the legend of Lily, and then I'm going to write about the escape room. But I'm not going to write about the escape room on camera because I don't want to give away any of the secrets, because it is an excellent escape room and we had so much fun. There was loads of puzzles. I mean, I can't even remember how many puzzles there were, and we had to get a few hints because, you know, it wasn't easy, it was hard, but we were really good. We actually managed to do it with 8 minutes to spare. It was just so much fun. I wish I could tell you some of the funny things that happened in there, but I can't tell you without giving away some of the puzzles. But yeah, it was so much fun. We laughed and laughed, and afterwards, I mean, we sat and talked about it for hours, because you know, every one of us solved a different part of a different puzzle, so we were all like on equal footings with it. So I was like, there was a musical puzzle. I am absolutely not a musically minded person, I'm really not, and you had to follow this tune, and I am just absolutely hopeless at stuff like that. I am absolutely tone deaf, so I'm trying to follow this tune. I don't want to give too much away, but anyway, my daughter managed to solve it, which is just as well, because there's no way I was going to be able to solve it. I'm trying to tell you without giving anything away. I've just given away one of the puzzles, but there you go. You still don't know what kind of puzzle it is, and oh yeah, it was funny. So anyway, the whole point of the escape room was that you had to find her portrait and restore it to the wall, and that way, you know, you would set the ghost at ease, and then she'd let you out of the room. And we found it, we got it, and we managed to put it back where it needed to be. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. I'm enjoying that. And that one can either sit in there or it can sit in there. I think what I want to do though, these pictures, I think I want to back them and make them into actual journal cards, and then I can journal on the back and like put in what they are. See, this is the picture of the grey lady. I mean, this one's a mock-up. I think it's on the leaflet itself. Yeah, there it is, look. But yeah, it's this is how she's said to appear, as a grey lady walking around the castle, and she will walk around the castle until she's acknowledged as its mistress, which is sad. I'm sad for her. Poor thing, wandering around a drafty castle. I think I might back it with one of these. Now, let's see what we've got. Yeah, I think what I might do is, no, I want some of the writing. And then I've got like writing on two sides. And if I put it kind of like that, sorry, I'm off camera. I kind of like the idea of that. That might look good, and then I can do the same with that one up in that corner. Yep, right. Let's just get this cut out. But yeah, so it was so much fun, and it was a perfect thing to do, like a perfect autumn day thing to do, because it was cold outside and we were in this beautiful castle, and the grounds of the castle are absolutely stunning. And one of the things that happened was, where we parked our cars, it was underneath this beautiful massive old oak tree, and the ground around it was littered with acorns. So there was loads of acorns all over the place, so I've collected a few, and I intend to grow some little trees from them, because the oak at Lumley's like ancient, and well, it's the Lumley oak, so so I've got them, and I'm going to try and grow some of the acorns. So we'll see. I know they are notoriously hard to grow, kind of not in like captivity, but in the wild and all could grow, you know, but it's hard to get them to germinate. So I mean, if you think about how many acorns an oak will put out, I mean, there was literally hundreds and hundreds of them all over the ground. And when we got back to the cars, there was even more that had fallen onto the cars themselves, which was like, you know, it was just lovely. And I even picked up a few leaves as well. And I thought, oh, I might preserve them with wax. I haven't gotten round to it yet, but I will do. Anyway, it was it was lovely. It was great. Do I want that one or do I want that one? I'll do that one, and then I can put some paper on the other side, and there's more room for me to journal on. And what I'll do is, I think, like I said, on the pictures I'll write what this is about, the grey lady, and then I'm going to write Lily's story, and then I'm going to write, this is the entrance to the room, so I'll write about the courtyard and the well that's there. Because right outside the door to the lock room, to the escape room, is the actual well where she was supposedly put down, like thrown down into. So I did take some photos of that, but I haven't managed to print them out yet. But when I do, I'll pop them in here as well. Right now, just going to guesstimate this. I know, it's not like me to guesstimate. I need to get this cutter sorted. It's got lots of little bits, keeps leaving loads of little bits. I will get round to getting it sorted. So that's just like, gives a nice frame with a little bit of the writing. I like that because I like the writing in the Edith Holden books. It's beautiful. Right, let's get this one cut. I think what the problem is, it's all stuck in there, but I don't have anything that I can use to get it out. I'm gonna have to just try and clean it out, but it's not cutting right through, it's sort of dragging through. It's not old either, I haven't had it for long, but it does get a lot of use, I suppose. Right, there we go. Pull all the little bits off. I need to order some new blades for it, that's what I think. Unless anybody knows any tips about how to sharpen them. Right. So yeah, this is my way of acknowledging Lily in the hopes that it'll help her find some rest. I'm going to do a page on Lily and I'm going to acknowledge her. So there you go, love. Hopefully that'll be nice for you. Right, now, I might do that one as well, you know. But around the whole thing, yeah, I think I might. Right. We're not finished with the cutter yet. Okay. Right. Let's try and get this a little bit square. That looks about right. There we go. I mean, look at that. Isn't that such a beautiful castle? I mean, the ivy on the walls and everything, it's just, it's perfect. Where we parked is kind of this way. In fact, this shadow is from the shadow of the oak. And that's where the acorns were, which was lovely. It was just, it was one of those days when everything just seemed to go right and everything seemed to go well. And after so long in lockdown and you know, and not being able to do anything, it was just so nice to do something, even though, you know, we had to wear a mask and instead of being able to wander around the castle, we had to just go in through the courtyard and it was all one way, and you know, it was still nice. It was nice just to get out and do something together as a family. I mean, obviously we all live together, otherwise we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be able to go, because you're not allowed to mix with people outside of your actual home at the minute, not in the northeast anyway. So yeah, luckily we all live in the same house, So we were able to do it. There we go. I like that one. I don't think I'm going to do that with this one. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that one yet. I might make it into one of the documents like I did with the other my old ancient documents. I don't know yet. But anyway, right, so I want to do something more with this. So first of all, let's get it all inked up. And then I want to put some writing paper on the back. And I can write about the grey lady. There we go. And I think I've got this lovely, now this is off a cupcake, you know, the little, the paper things that you pop them in, if that's what it is. So I think I'm going to just put a little bit of, because it's a bit too bright. There we go, that looks better. And I might have that coming across like that, or maybe it's at the bottom. Yes, I like that. That's lovely. So let's do that, and I'm going to use my tacky glue for this, because I don't think that it'll stick on very well with the glue stick. Plus I think I'll rip my glue stick to pieces trying to glue this. So let's just get some on. But yeah, it was lovely. So I've got my acorns ready. I was reading how to germinate them. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to plant them, but you know, if I can grow, I'm hoping to get 3. I've got quite a few of the acorns. If I can just get 3, then I could take them somewhere wild where they're not going to get disturbed, and plant them. And that's kind of, you know, that's giving back, isn't it? Because, you know, we all have to do our bit, don't we? And such a beautiful old oak, you know, it deserves to be given that. Oh, I like that. That's gorgeous. No, I really like that. Obviously the glue won't be noticeable just because the way I've done it. There we go, that's better. Yes, I like that. And then that's kind of pretty. And I might, because this is going in my autumn journal, I might find something that I can put on. Let's see what there is. Is that, no, it's just not going to match, is it? But there's these lovely little ones that we could put on, kind of like that. That's kind of tiny. Did I have another one of them? I know, I'm talking to myself again. Just there it is. Would that look nice? I think it would, yeah. And it's going to really match in with the autumn theme. Right, let's get these inked up. Again, these are just all fussy cuts. Stuff that I've printed out, stuff that I've found from books and things. I've just got tons. I was really lucky that I found a book, and it was on the British wildlife through the seasons, and it had perfect amounts of like fussy cut and stuff. It was brilliant. Right, I think I'll put these two on first. So where's my glue stick on? There it is. So I'm really lucky that where I am there's lots of castles, and you know, all castles end up having legends, don't they? I mean, it just comes with the territory. So I'm really lucky in that way. I mean, I told you the story of Dunstanburgh Castle, and now this is the story of Lumley Castle. Well, one of the stories. It's got a lot of stories actually, Lumley. And then, you know, there's lots of other castles around. Alnwick Castle is one of my favourites. I do love Alnwick Castle. And they've got the gardens there as well, and the tree house. It's this beautiful big tree house, and it's there's like walkways between all the trees, and then there's little houses and little huts and things. It's like a little village in the trees actually, but inside the main tree house is a little restaurant where you can go and get some breakfast or some lunch or whatever. And it's like walking into something out of Tolkien. It's brilliant. And they've also got the gardens. I kind of like that, and I'm going to back it with some paper. They've got the gardens, and I wonder if that would, yeah, I kind of like that. And inside the gardens they've got what's called the poison garden, which is fantastic because it is literally a garden of poisonous plants, but they do like tours through it, so you can't just wander about. Obviously it can be dangerous, but they've got like a tour guide who tells you about all the plants and about things like, I mean, foxglove is poisonous, and it's a deadly killer, and it's been used in many a murder. But foxglove also gives us digitalis, which is a medicine that people with heart problems use, and it has saved like thousands, hundreds upon thousands of lives. But it is a very poisonous plant, and they tell you all about this in the poison garden. So yeah, that's really a great place to go. But yeah, I'm lucky that we've got quite a few castles around here. The north had a lot of castles because before Scotland and England became united, well, as united as we've ever been, we didn't get on very well with Scotland, which is sad. But there was a lot of fighting, especially around the borders, and the north is obviously the main border, and you've got Hadrian's Wall, which I think I've told you about before. But you know, the border has shifted many times over the years. I like that. I really like that. So that one's done, and I'm going to write on there about the Grey Lady. So this one, I think, can sit in here. Will it fit? Is it too big? No, it's going to fit. Oh, perfect. There we go. Now this one. Now I want to remember about the acorns, so I'm going to use some acorns to decorate this one. But yeah, so we've got a lot of castles up here because obviously, you know, there's always been the chance that you're going to get raided by the Scots, or if it's been taken over by the Scots, that you're going to get raided by the English. Or that the Vikings are going to turn up because, yeah, 70% of the people in the north of England have Viking DNA, including my own family. So, yeah, it's there's always somebody willing to raid us. Let's just put it that way, which is why we've got so many castles. I think if I put them two there, that'll look cute alongside the castle. Okay, and it'll remind me of the oak tree on that day, and then I can write about the castle on the back. I'm really enjoying this is so much fun. So there's no end of places to visit up here, no end of legends to tell. I mean, you know, it's said that you can't throw a rock in England without hitting some legend or some bit of history, and it's true. You know, we do have our fair share of history. But it's nice because, you know, like I say, I love a good legend, I love a good story, and there's loads of them about. But poor Lily, I mean, whether she was married to him or not, you know, she shouldn't have been thrown down a well, whether she was Christian or not. I think myself, I mean, you can make your own mind up what you think, but I think myself, old Ralph wanted to, you know, he had his mistress and he was happy with all that until the idea of getting a lucrative marriage came along. And then I think he thought, well, I can't get rid of Lily, so I'll get the monks to do it instead. And I think personally, I think that's what happened. I mean, you know, he paid for the priory to be built, and he subsidised the monks there, and he would only have to wind them up about her not being Christian, you know what I mean. They would probably do the rest themselves. And then of course he was able to move on to make his rich marriage to Eleanor, but in the end he supported the wrong man, He supported Richard II, and he ended up imprisoned and executed for it. So, was that his just rewards for the way he treated poor Lily, his mistress? Maybe. We'll never know. We'll never know. Right, let's see. I think I'll use a bit of this paper. Hold on. There we go. Yep. But yeah, she should have at least been written into the annals of the castle, you know, acknowledged for who she was. Whether she was common law or real wife, you know, poor Lily. But now, I mean, she has the last laugh, because now she's probably the most notorious of the castle's previous residents, because she's famous for what happened to her. And now she's even got an escape room based on her story. So I suppose she did get the last laugh in the end, didn't she? Not that I suppose it's comforting to a wandering ghost. Oh no! Should have changed the glue page. I'm going to have to do that again. Change the glue page. But I mean, it was quite common around those times for the Lord to have a mistress and a wife living in like his home at the same time. So it's not like it was something unusual. Poor Lily, it just seems that poor Lily was, I mean, some of the stories say she was a very outspoken woman and a very strong-willed woman. Well, history has taught us one thing, it's that outspoken and strong women tend to end up getting the worst of it, because, you know, they prefer to keep us quiet. In history. One would like to hope it was in history. But yeah, I mean, she used to run the castle by herself when Ralph wasn't there. And to run a castle of its size with all of the land entailed, you know, she must have been a strong-willed woman, because that would mean that she would not only be running the justice side of things and making sure that things got dealt with, but she'd be running the supplies, and she'd be running the trading, and, you know, she'd be the one to give advice when it was needed, the one to make the decisions that could mean life or death, you know. So she must have been a strong woman, because you wouldn't be able to do all that if you weren't a strong person. It just, you know, people often think of these ladies from the past as being these little fainting violets. They weren't. It was a harsh life even for a lady, because there were certain things that only the lady was allowed to do, and it was quite often harsh physical labour. I mean, one of the traditions around Christmas was to make the Christmas marzipan. Well, it's not like us who just, you know, pop down to the shops and get a marzipan. I like that one. I like the way that turned out. I might put that one kind of in there. Yeah. No, you had to get all of you had to gather all the nuts, and then you had to stand and pound the nuts. And if you've ever tried to pound nuts, I mean, you're talking like just a small bag. I've tried to do it, believe me, in a pestle and mortar, and it kills. It absolutely kills. But to make enough for a castle-sized feast, bloomin' heck, they must have had muscles like bloomin' Thor. I mean, seriously, these women must have been strong, and they must have been strong-willed as well, because to run a castle, it's not like running a house, it's like running a village, because there's as many people living inside the castle as there is living inside a village. And so you've got to be the one who's in charge of all that. Wow, I mean, yeah. Yes, okay, so they had servants, but they also had to police the servants. Because believe me, there was a lot of intrigue went on in these places. I don't think I might maybe have a mushroom. No, I don't think I want to put anything on this one. I think I just want to leave it as it is, because the picture itself is quite highly decorated and there's not much room without having to take something away. So I think I'll leave that one as is. So I'm just going to get some paper and back it. Okay, that'll do. And then I can write about the actual entrance to the room. It was just so much to take in. And I first went in and she let us in and she's given us the story behind it, and she's telling us a little bit about Lily and that, which I already knew about Lily, but she's telling us the premise of the actual escape room. And my eyes are all over trying to pick out what were the puzzles and what I had to take notice of straight away. Because yeah, I love solving puzzles, and it was so fun. Yeah, and there was I can't tell you. I wish I could tell you. I might pop this one in here actually. There we go. I've got loads of room to write on now, so I'm going to write on this page. I'm going to write the story of Lily. So where's my pen now? I'm going to use green today. So of Lily of Lumley. And I think that's going to be what I'm going to write on there. So this page is going to be her story, and then on the back of these I'm going to write about the castle itself, about the Grey Lady, and then on the other one I'm going to write about the actual escape room. Oh, come on, go in. Oh, I want it that way because I want those acorns next to the leaves. On this one I'm going to write about like the entrance to the escape room, and then I think what I'll do is I'll write in here about the different puzzles that we had to do, and then if I need any extra room I can finish it off on there. So that's that page done, and I can't wait to sit and write. I'm not going to journal on camera because I don't want to give anything away. But I've told you about the story of her, so I'm going to sit and write that, and I might decorate this a little bit more. Let's see, what do we have? I kind of like the idea of putting something on there. I think that would look quite nice, that, wouldn't it? I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe I might put it onto something, kind of so that it's... Let's see. Should we put it onto some music? Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Right. Let's get some ink on, and I want to really go with the ink on this one. Give it a really nice vintagey effect. And that's just going to frame, like that belly band will just be nicely, a nice frame for this, and it'll be a central image that'll just give it what it needs. I think that should do it. I like the way that's done. Right, now let's get some glue on this, and then I've just got my puzzle box. I want to find somewhere for that, but I think I know what I'm going to do with that. I want to get one of those puzzle boxes because I kind of like them. They're really good, and I've seen them on Amazon. They're not that expensive actually, so I might treat myself to one. I might, or I might put it on my Christmas list anyway. Right, instead of tearing, I think what I'll do is I'll just cut it so it's almost like a frame around. And then yeah, I'll put it on my Christmas list, and I'll tell everybody that's what I want for Christmas. I think it's called a Cryptex box. Cryptex. It's, I know that the you know, oh, what's that? Da Vinci Code. There's one in the Da Vinci Code, and I think that's when they became popular. But I kind of like them because you can put little things into them, and it doesn't have to be anything like spectacular. I mean, I think they mainly sell them for to put wedding rings in them and that. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. I think that's going to finish that off. So this is textured. Do you know what? I'm sort of, I don't know now. Do I want to put it on there? Yeah, I do. I want to put it on there. So I'm just going to put this glue straight onto here because it's a textured paper. I'm going to put lots of glue on. There we go. Now, and I like this because this paper's got little flecks of gold in. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Just make sure that's not glued down. Perfect. Yep, that's great. I like it. And then I can just write round it. Perfect. And then I might even back this. I might put something on there so that I can write on there as well. But I think what I'm going to do with the Cryptex, if that's what it is called, I might pop it on here, sort of across like that. I like that. Yeah. I'm not going to bother framing it. I'm just going to really ink it up. Make it look old. Drop me a comment and tell me, do you like puzzles? Do you like doing things like that? Do you know, have you ever done an escape room? Tell me about your escape room, because I really love listening or reading, I should say, to other people's experiences in them. I was reading the reviews. I didn't read anything before we went because I didn't want to know, but I did read the reviews after we'd gone to see what other people had to say, and I've got to say most of the reviews were just like, so, you know, everybody was really happy with it. Oh, I like that. Yes, because that's kind of like a little puzzle. There's a little puzzle behind there, and that's going to be the puzzle of the escape room. Cool. Right, let me have a look and see where we are. So we've got our lovely cards done. We've got, I want Lily kind of sticking out so you can just see her. I know she's going to be sticking over the top, but that's fine because, yeah, I like that. That's worked out perfect. So we've got me pictures of the castle and me pictures of the grey lady, and it's all nice and autumny, and it's going to remind me of the acorns that were all over the car when we came out and all over the floor. And then this lovely vintage, very vintage fabric. I can imagine her wearing a dress that's like trimmed with this, and then the music for the music puzzle, and then we've got the escape room actual leaflet, and then we've got the Cryptex, and there's the entrance to the escape room. Yeah, I'm loving it. I like the way this has turned out. I'm not going to write in it on camera because I don't want to give away any of the clues, and even writing the story down, there may be clues in there that I'm not going to give out. So you're going to have to just take my word for it. I will, when I'm all finished, when I'm doing a flip through, I will show you, but I'm not going to show you about the puzzles, right? You'll just have to trust me. They were really, really good. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I've really enjoyed doing this one. It's so textural. I love it. It's just, oh, I just love all the different textures. Yeah, it's great. And I love the way the Edith Holden's really framing them, and it makes it look like it's been put onto an ancient document or something. Yeah, and I love all the colours. Yeah, it's perfect. So there's my little autumn craft with me, my autumn journal with me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the story of Lily, and about my day out at the escape room. Well, not day, half a day. So if you get a chance, go on Google, look up Lumley Castle. It is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can even look up the story of Lily. You know, it's all there. Oh, I forgot this piece. You know what? I might just fold this up and tuck it in, and that can be another little journaling spot. There we go. And I can journal about when the castle was originally built and that. Yeah, look up the story. Tell me what you think. Do you think that it was the monks? Do you think that it was all made up? Do you think that Ralph could have been in on it? Do you think she died by accident, or was it murder? Let me know what you think. Drop me a comment. If you've enjoyed this, drop a like on it, because it really helps out. And I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for journaling along with me. Thank you for listening to me prattle on. And I will see you in the next one. So take care, stay safe, and happy crafting. Bye.